Hey everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. My name is Janet, if you don't already know. And today, I know, I told you we were doing jerky. Welcome to my life. We have to do things when we can do them when my husband's at home. I'm doing jerky, I can do that anytime. But we had to get deer done today because my husband Bill, and my son went hunting and they brought home 2 deer, and deer don't wait. You have to do them when you can do them. So that's what we're doing today. And I thought maybe you would just like to come along and see what we're doing, because this is our first time ever processing our own deer. We are going to be making salt cured deer, cube deer, like cube steak, and ground deer. We are going to do sausage, but not today. We will use some of that meat at another date to make the sausage. But for today, I just thought you would like to see what we're doing to get it going. So remember, do your research, know the optimal conditions. Are we able to use optimal conditions? No, but we're going to get it done as safe as we can. There may be other ways people prefer to process meat. We're just doing the best we can for today with what we have. Doing deer is messy. It's not clean. I'm sure none of my precious viewers are going to criticize because they understand we're doing the best we can. And I don't always use the gloves. I do when I can. But guys, you're going to be putting this meat on a grill. There's not much on your hands that's going to survive a blazing hot grill. So anyway, just enjoy what's going on. We'll see you there. Today we're going to be processing ground deer meat for our freezer, and we're supposed to do some patties, so we'll see if that actually happens. So we're getting set up. I think it's way too hot out here to be processing meat outside, but we're just gonna see what happens. Let's go. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just turn my scale on with this on so that it has, I'm starting with the 0 weight. I don't know why it's changing. There we go. And here is our meat and fat. So I'm going to start with not sticking my hands down in there. I'm going to let my husband do that. That's the deer meat, but we have fat here. I'm going to start with 10 pounds of meat and 2 pounds of fat. So let's get our meat out first. I don't even know how this is in here. I don't know how to grab it.
As you can see, Bill and Jake had already cut up the deer and trimmed it while they were still at the camp. That way, when they got home with it, we just had chunks that we needed to work with. And I went ahead and weighed them out, but after I got them weighed out, I did go ahead and sometimes I had to trim them up just a little bit more, but I also had to cut them down into smaller pieces so that they would fit into the hopper for the grinder. And that's all I'm doing here. So you don't have to cut them in little bitty pieces, but you do need them small enough to fit. And this is just Bill getting everything set up and ready.
Okay, so we've got our 10 pounds of meat. Now I need to measure out 2 pounds of fat. You can use 1 pound of fat to 10 pounds of meat, 2 pounds of fat to 10 pounds of meat, which would be 20% fat, which is great for burger. Or if you want super lean for soups or chilies or whatnot, you can put no fat. It's totally up to you. Can't get the weight to 0 out. I guess it's because it's moving. Well, there we go, it's close enough. Okay. So this is the fat we're using. This is a beef fat, and as you can see, it comes already crumbled. We're just going to weigh out 2 pounds. There we go. Can you see? We're at 2 pounds of fat. Now I'm just going to take that fat and mix it in to the meat. And when we add it to the grinder, we'll just make sure we get a little bit of the fat at the same time as we're getting some of the meat, so that when it's all ground, it's well mixed.
Just cut off some of the ham into chunks, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator until I can cure it. Then we're going to pour salt all on it, cure it, and then put it in the cold smokehouse.
Okay, I'm just going to sit this in here to keep it really cold while I cut up the rest of the meat.
Just trim off all this fat, ligaments, tendons, all that white skin, try to trim all that off. And then we're going to slice this up and try to make some cute deer out of it.
My husband wasn't as careful about getting the tough stuff off. Right. We have 20 pounds in the refrigerator with fat in it, and this is just 6 pounds. And to the 6 pounds, I just put 1 pound of, well, it wasn't quite a pound, right at a pound of fat in it. So we'll have a total of 26 pounds of meat to grind up.
This was our very first time using this grinder, so there was a bit of a learning curve trying to figure out how much meat to put in it at once and how to keep it from stopping up. As you can see here, this was the first run, so we used the largest plate, and we did run into a bit of a problem with it clogging up, but we learned that the meat really needs to be good and cold. In fact, next door to frozen is best. Once you have it really cold, you don't really run into the problem of it clumping up. And yes, I realized I was using the wrong end of the plunger. I was just trying to move the meat around. So see, you can see there how it clogged up. But we eventually figured it all out and got all of the meat ground up. And if you stay tuned to the very end, you will see a little blooper in Bill's experiment in trying to get the meat to go through. Just keep watching if you're interested. Once we got all of the meat ground, we moved on and used our cuber for the first time. It was a little bit of trial and error trying to figure out how to get it fitted onto the motor part, but we got it there. And this was my favorite part. It was so quick and easy. It was so fun just to drop that meat down in there and for it to pop out the other end. So give us just a second. We'll have that on there and you'll see us going. When we did it, we actually ran every piece through 3 times. A couple of the pieces we ran through 4 times just to get it really tenderized, especially if the pieces were on the thicker side. But this is so neat. It looks just like cube steak you buy from a store.
We'll probably run it through 2 times.
Do that one first. It's too close, maybe that's why you can't see it. over here. But these are the backstrap and tenderloin. We'll just clean these the rest of the way up and freeze them because we like them whole. Okay, so we've got, Alyssa and I have all the dirty stuff, and we're going to take it up to the house and make a cooler of soapy water before we take it in and give it a final wash. Bill is staying at the shop for just a minute, and he's going to start cleaning up all that stuff and getting it sanitized. So I think we did pretty good keeping everything cold. We just worked in batches, and we got one little batch done. We'd pop it back in the refrigerator or freezer, and meat we were working on, we just pulled out in little batches and would keep it in the freezer in between. So anyway, let's get this part done. All right, there's our cooler of soapy water. We're coming down to the home stretch. What we're going to do now is measure our meat out into 1 pound bags. I've already written on the bags that it's 1 pound of ground deer, 20% fat. So let's get this done, and maybe the next batch we can do 10% fat. Oh, I didn't put a glove on. Gross. And these were pre-cut bags, so it's not the size I would choose, but it is what it is. It'll work. Just squish it down in there. And now my kitchen's going to have to be sanitized. Close enough. We're not going to worry about an ounce. So there we go. I'm just going to fill up the rest of the bags. And also need to say too, we only ground this deer one time. Bill didn't want to do it again, so I wasn't going to argue. I just went with it. Last part, we are sealing these babies. We got 21 pound bags, and then 21 1 pound bags and 4 2 pound bags. So we just push the handle down and automatic back and seal. Now there is a tray, little chamber here that will catch any moisture that is sucked up, but I have it on the moist setting. So it won't get quite as tight of a seal as a dry setting, but did y'all hear that click? It says it's ready, so now we just open it. And there's a double seal. We'll just have to clean that up before we put it in the freezer. Alright, Bill is going to start taking these to the freezer so they don't warm up too much. I'm almost done sealing, and we've still got to seal up the cube. He's been outside salting all that he was talking about earlier on the video. Sorry, my voice is giving out. Okay, Bill is finishing up the cube deer. We got 3 regular bags of cube deer, and then we put some in one bag. I don't know if they're going to do right or not, but we didn't want to waste them. We're going to try. All right, everybody, so we've got everything in the freezer. Let's see. Here are bags of cube. Stop, Matt. Sorry, the dog's licking my leg. And bless his heart again, I've told him not to stack stuff when we're trying to get it frozen, but oh well, at least he put it in here, right? Gotta be grateful for our guys. So we've got several bags of backstrap and tenderloin, plus we also have, yes, I need to defrost my freezer, several I think he said 2 pounds of just meat that he cubed up. So we've got 2 pounds of that in here somewhere. I can't get to it all, but I wanted to show you. It's all in the freezer. It's already the next day, so you can see it's already frozen. Let me show you what else we have going on. All right. See, I told y'all we're going to do jerky. There's all my trays. We had it open to make sure they were good and dry. But this is what I wanted to show you. He had two hams. The one we cut up for cubed meat, but this is the other ham. He has been watching a YouTuber. I don't know the channel. He calls him McGee. But he takes hams and cuts them up into small 1 to 2 pound pieces and puts them in just plain sea salt one day. I think 1 day per pound of meat. So Bill's got these sitting here. It'll be more than a day, so they will be salt cured, and you'll have your own country ham, y'all. We've already done it one time. It was so good. So we're doing it again, but we're doing it with deer meat this time. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so I know this video was a little wild and crazy. It's different than what I normally do because I wasn't doing the recording myself. But I just want to thank you all for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what we're doing and experimenting with. Remember, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just showing you what we're doing. So, thank you all. You know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys. Hey everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. Pardon me while I fix my sleeves on my man arms.
Got the spoon down in there and now there's plastic everywhere.